Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for coming. Barry sent me an email a couple of months ago saying, hey, we'd love to have you come speak. So really, on what? Because I don't know, what sounds good? What tickles your fancy? I chose to not answer that question because immediately my mind jumped into the gutter. But this is one of my favorite passionate topics going on right now. Now I gotta rib a little bit. There's excellent speakers here. One of my buddies, Dave Hussman, and since this is being recorded, it's going to live on forever. Dave decided that he was going to come. He got to the airport, and turns out that David only had 0 pages available in his passport. So feel free to follow him on Twitter and say, "Miss you, get a passport, learn to travel." Good, clean fun for David. There we go. A little bit about me. As was said, I got this alphabet soup down here at the bottom, right? All sorts of things, author of a book. I've been doing this crazy Agile stuff for a long time. I actually started my career as a tester and doing tech support stuff, which was a lot of fun. But my Agile career really began when I was at Microsoft in 2001. And I was really good at delivering projects late. Raise your hand if you're good at that. Delivering late, okay? Delivering over budget, okay? And delivering with poor quality, okay? I was really, really good at that. And finally I said to myself, this sucks, I don't like doing this. I gotta do something different. Not the same thing over and over again, but something different. And that was where I started my Agile journey. And in doing this, contact information. In doing this, what I found was a lot of patterns that were interesting. And I'm going to share those with you. Start my timer. I'm going to share a lot of these patterns with you. But first I want to tell you a little bit of a story. I've got 3 kids. Anyone kids? Or soon-to-be kids, or nieces, nephews, right? Typically I find children, they learn how to ride bicycles at a young age. My kids were the same. And what we did to them was we had a bike, we had basically the training room. And we would take them out there and we'd put them on the bike, and I remember the boy who said to me, "Dad, I'm scared." "What are you scared of, buddy?" He's like 4. "What are you scared of?" "I'm scared that I'm going to fall." "Okay, anything else?" "Well, I don't know how to stop. It's just scary. You hold on to me." He wanted the comfort, he wanted the support, right? And I go, "Yeah, of course, I'll hold on." So I hold on to the bike and I run him around the yard, and he's like, "Hey, this is fun. You can let go now." So I let go. How many meters did he ride before he fell? 1? Yeah, about that. He goes about 1 meter and he falls. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him, and at this point I could be a manager or a leader. Because what would a manager do? Get your ass up. You should know how to ride a bike. We've been watching the Tour de France. You should be an expert. You guys have all seen bike riders. Why can't you? Kids. So I decided to be a leader. Instead, I'm like, "Oh, dude, are you okay? Did you hurt yourself?" "I skinned my knee." "Oh, man, that's too bad. You want to go again?" "I think so, but it really hurts." Yeah, it's probably going to hurt again too. So you need to decide what's more fun, or what you want more. Either riding the bike and hanging out with your friends, or if you want to let your fear overcome you, you basically just hang out. And he goes, "I want to ride the bike, Dad." So I hop up, push him on the bike again. He goes 2 meters, same thing, falls. "Oh, look at, you went twice as far." We do it the 3rd time, 5 meters, 4th time, 10 meters. By the end of the day, he's riding around the block. Not really good. And a piece of advice for parents: always teach your kids how to stop before you teach them how to go. Because he's going, "Oh, how do I stop?" I'm like, "Oh crap, yeah. Just put on the brake. I don't know what the brake is." So at that point, I realized that my instructional days as a bike teacher were painfully limited. So, but here's the thing: is fear. He was scared. Anybody ever been scared lately? No, we're all adults, right? I will argue that we are all adults. We're all probably over age 16, 18. You've been scared lately of anything? 1, thank you for the courage. What were you scared of? Would you be willing to share it?
Actually, in regards to my kids.
Say again?
In regards to my kids, I mean, are they safe? And
In regards to your kids, yeah, are they safe? This, that, the other thing. Right. Yeah, my youngest daughter, she's 8. She asked me on the phone, she was crying the other day. And Mommy won't let me ride my bike around the block. She says it's not safe. Well, is it safe? Yeah. Does my wife have fear? Absolutely. Does the little kid have fear? No. My wife does, right? Because I'm not there. Fear is a part of life. Some people have fear of losing their jobs. Some people have fear of, maybe I want to buy the new house and I can't afford it. Some people have fear of, getting bugged. I still sometimes am afraid of the dark. I have to manage against that. We all have our little fears. A friend of ours, family friend of ours, is deathly scared of aircraft. The only way she will get on a steel tube is if she has Valium and Vicodin and alcohol all at once. So she gets wheelchaired on, she lays there comatose. This is fun, right? But it's fear. It's how we manage it that is the important thing. And what you'll see with fear is it typically is involved in something that's unknown or something that you haven't experienced. Now, you heard me say this before, transitioning to this Agile stuff you're going from a known state, right? I know how to do this traditional stuff, I know where I'm going to fail, and I know what the pain will be. And you're going to an unknown state. I'm learning something entirely new, I've never done it before, I don't know where I'm going to fall down, I don't know how to prepare for it. That's really scary, especially when you mix that in with corporate culture, which says, I have to know exactly when you'll be done. I have to know exactly how much it costs. Or you have customers. I have to know everything that I'm going to get. My answers to those are, good for you. I'm glad you want to know those things, because I want to know them too. So maybe you can, predict the future. I can't. What I can do is give you a relative guess. Now, there are some ways to overcome fear. My favorite one down here is at the bottom, right? What we want to do is dealing around anxiety is we want to be aware of it and we want to be able to manage it, okay, and watch it. So we want to be aware of what's going on in our environment. We want to know that, yeah, it's going to be frustrating, it's going to be challenging, work against it, and then act normally. Acting normally when you're in a fearful state helps you keep composure, helps you create a good level of awareness. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, you're going to retry or redo all of these things until you are onto a path of excellence. Now there are other things on here. Your imagination. Your imagination can really get out of hand sometimes. Anybody have an active imagination? Yeah? So the last time I was here, I went out to a bush camp, and some TED thing. It was really cool. You got to see the animals and all that stuff, because as an American, all I ever see is that stuff on TV. And so I'm out there, and it's an outdoor shower. And it's pitch black. And I'm thinking to myself, I can see right here. I cannot see over there. It is pitch black. Maybe there's I took a 20-second shower. The water didn't even warm up. My imagination controlled me. I got back into the little tent thing. I'm like, oh crap, what? Oh, they're going to come through. Oh, right? And I decided to go to bed. But controlling your imagination is a really big thing, because when we're talking about this in terms of business, what we're going to think of is, what if I'm going to fail and I'm not going to be rewarded? What if I'm going to fail and I'm going to lose my job? Right? These are big fears that we have to deal with, and these are things, when our imagination gets a hold of us, can cause us to spiral out of control. Anybody in that state right now? Anybody trying to adopt Agile or transition, switch over to this crazy Agile stuff? Anybody? Anybody already there? Okay, a handful, kind of already there. Yeah. Anybody? I'm guessing the rest of you are here because you want to investigate. You want to do a study to see if it's appropriate for your business. Is that correct? I'll take silence as a yes. I choose to have silence mean yes. There's a bunch of ways to do this, right? You can gradually adopt. You can flip the bit overnight. The most important thing that you you want to do is envision your outcome. Envision your outcome. Where do you want to be in a year from now? Where do you want to be in 6 months from now? And put yourself into those shoes and look back and say, if I was to have a conversation with Mitch, if you see me next year, and I ask you over a beer or a coffee or whatever, and I say to you, how'd it go? How was your last year? I expect you to tell me how it went. And what I would want you to do is tell me that today. That allows you to envision your outcome. Now, there's some struggles here. There's some fun patterns, some fun things to look for when you're adopting this stuff. All right? And these are 5 patterns that I see most often in the companies that I work with. We've got the first one, right? Jumping in. The second one, which is a favorite one of mine. People think they're special. We are special. You ever heard that one before? Yeah, look at that. Everybody, okay? My Agile is not your Agile. I know Sam and Karen have heard that one because we talked about it. Okay? Working remotely, one of my favorite ones in lip service. Lip service. Say, yeah, we're doing it, but we're really not. That's sort of like me saying, yeah, I speak Spanish, but I really don't. My kids, they do. And they tell me that I'm a moron all the time. Now, jumping in. Jumping in. How hard can this stuff be? Agile is the latest fad. Who's heard this one recently? Yeah? It's just a buzzword. It's going to come and go. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, it's just the latest fad. How hard can it be? You know what the problem is here? People focus on the practices and not the principles and the values. Who knows what the Agile principles and values are? Anybody? Give me some. Give me some. Give me some. Please. Yes.
Short meetings.
Short meetings. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Come back to that one. Say again. Communication, yeah. Focus. Respect, yeah. Courage, thank you. Focus, commitment, yeah.
Working over comprehensive documentation.
Yeah, working software over comprehensive documentation. Here's an Agile manifesto. That's just a buzzword though, right? Working software over comprehensive. Why on earth would I want to have working software over comprehensive documentation?
People over process.
People over process. Yeah, so now we're getting into these principles and values. The principles and values of the foundation, they're the why we do what we do. So we have meetings, and we have short meetings. Why? So that we can be focused. So we can stay on target. So we can stay on track. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. All right? 2 of my favorites. You can flip the switch overnight. Some companies do this, and they're successful with it. You can adopt slowly. Now, you're probably sitting there going, yeah, well, what else is there? You either do it now, or I do it all now, or I do it all later, or I do it all sometime, of course. Right. So, flipping the switch overnight. You go home on a Friday, you come in Monday. We're Agile! Yay, people are Agile! What does that mean? It means I have shorter meetings. It means I have this planning thing, and it means that I have a retrospective, but that's not really important, because we're not going to do anything about it anyway. Or, I can adopt slowly. I can take a team, I can build them up, make them awesome, and then split them up and make them terrible, so that way they can seed all these other teams with their brilliant ideas. Right? At which point all the other people are going to say, I don't think I want to do a daily meeting. Can we do our daily meeting once a week? And we'll call it our daily weekly meeting? And instead of 15 minutes a day, that's a lot of time. Right? Instead what we'll do is we'll just do 1 hour at the end of the week, because now we save 15 minutes. Who's heard this? You're laughing because you've heard this, right? Laughter equals true. Okay, so you notice how I change meanings. All right? So, yeah, that's all fantastic. Why does this happen? Number 1, you don't have people across the same baseline. They don't understand what's going on. Now, this could be training or it could be experience. But at the end of the day, people have to have a common language. With the common language grounded on Agile principles and values, doing this becomes significantly easier because you already know why you're doing what you're doing. You have actual Agile principles, you have Agile practices. The practices are easy. The principles and the values are hard. right? The training will help you with that.